I don't know what this does. Can someone please tell me what Plant the Flag does? Because I don't know. Here, you can see it. What does it do? Hello everybody, Glass Half Dead here, and today we are looking at Starns Disciples, a Genestealer Cult kill team. Now, for those of you that aren't aware, this is the first type of this box that has been released for Kill Team, released alongside the AdMech. In this, you get a new commander, and you also get 5 models that are either Acolyte hybrids or hybrid metamorphs? Metamorph hybrids? Whatever they are. The reason this is different and interesting is because if you had picked up the Kill Team starter box, then you would have received, for the Genestealer Cult faction, a single box of Neophyte hybrids. When it comes to the 40k core troops selection, you have them, and you also have these guys. So they're kind of the 2 default basic things that you need to make your kill team. So before, you would have had to have bought, you could have bought the Kill Team Star set, but then also picked up a separate box of Acolyte hybrids. Theoretically, you could have picked up the Kill Team starter box, used the Genestealer Neophyte hybrids from that, and now you could pick this up as well, and boom, you have yourself a very complete, flexible kill team. Cool. Let's have a quick look at what we get in here. Yep, so a book. 18 tactics cards. 18 tactics cards, okay. 6 Genestealer Cult Commander tactics, okay. 4 missions, 4 psychic power cards, 2 Genestealer Cult Kill Team token sheets, and 6 Genestealer Cult data cards. Okay, and the models themselves, obviously. I've already been through this. There aren't any psychic power cards. So that's weird. And 6 Genestealer Data Cults cards, yeah, but there are extras as well. Anyway, we'll go through it now. First up, we have the 4 different missions. 2 of them match play, 2 of them narrative. They're mixed up, as is normally the way. I'm not going to go through these in any real depth. I will hold them up for you. There you go. As per usual, when it comes to a release of a kill zone plus a kill team, when it comes to the maps, it assumes that you've also picked up the kill zone to be able to play this. That's Conquest, Clash of Titans, which actually has a much more normal setup with the building in the middle instead of to the side where it does nothing. The Purging, this is a narrative mission now. And Uprising. Cool. Why aren't I going into depth on these? Good question. Because we've got more interesting things to talk about. This is the instruction booklet to put them all together. It also gives you all of your rules for Acolyte hybrids, Kelermorphs, and hybrid metamorphs. I don't know if these are index or if these are from the new codex. You'd hope they're from the new codex, but you never know, do you? Okay. You get your little commander's sheet for your aura tactics. And you get the full sheet. Now, interestingly, we turn this over. We get this symbol. This is the default symbol that you'd also pick up from the Kill Team core set. This is going to be relevant later. We then get a piece of A4 paper. Now, maybe we are spoiled by Games Workshop, but this is pretty subpar. Why don't we get an art print? You know, that's what they do in their big boxes. I love the art print. Anyway. This is a standard set of Riser Ruins. It comes with a hatch. That's important for later. I've already given my my thoughts on the Riser Ruins in the unboxing I've done of the Frontier the Fronteris kill zone. However, I suspect I haven't released that yet. But you'll find out. Oh, won't that keep you on the edge of your seats? Let's look at the Kelermorph first. New model, arguably one of the fanciest looking models in the new Genestealer Cults release, which is saying something because they are some good models. I'm excited to put this guy together. His legs are ribbed for your pleasure. And it's a cool cloak, and he's a gunslinger with 3 different... Yeah, he's cool. I like it. Now, these are Acolyte hybrids, or Metamorph hybrids. They're a dual kit, can be built either way. For those of you that know much about the Genestealer Cults kill team, you'll know that these guys are pretty important. Mainly, or maybe not mainly, but in a very serious manner, because their special weapons, the Acolyte fighters, are crazy good. That's where you get the rock saw, the rock drill, and the heavy rock drill. I don't think I said that right, but go with me. Oh, look. And we get a little dead Imperial Guard, which is always nice to see, isn't it? Hand flamers. That looks like a Weber, not a flamer. I don't know though. Yep. Oh, look. We can even have ourselves a nice little Cthulhu guy if we want. Very cool. Good head selection. I like it. This is just your standard modern looking good kit. There's not really much to... I can't really add anything to our looking of that. It's a good kit. It's a multi-part, not multi-part, it's a multi-kit, so it can create several different things. It's well worth picking up. If you want Genestealer Cults, you will almost certainly want this kit. So that's, in itself, a positive. Especially if you're starting out. However, we are going to have to discuss, not now, but in a later time, business practices when it comes to these kits. But it's fine. Let's keep powering through. Because now we have a very confusing situation with the data cards that we actually get. This might look confusing, but these are sorted into piles that make sense. First up, I wanted to bring these out. Here we have 8 blank Genestealer Cults data cards. You get these in the core set, the star set, that is no longer available. So, if you want this artwork for your guys, you have to get that from the star set. And you get 8 of them. Okay. Here are the data cards from Starn's Disciples, where you get 5 blank ones. The rest are regular things, that's fine. However, they have different artwork on the back. Also a slightly different finish, they're a little bit glossier. I actually much prefer this artwork, but that's fine. It's not a problem. It's just something I'm noting. We then also get the data cards. We'll go over these. Oh, yes. So you also get a 6th blank data card. However, this one is for your Kelermorph. Now, these data cards are all very simply much like you get in all of the other kill team factions, the way that they build the kill team. However, it's the stat line for the new Kelermorph model, except actually it gets +1 to its movement because of this card. So typically they can only move 6 inches. However, let's go over it, because apart from that, there's no other change. So they can move 6 normally with a 3 up or 2 up, Strength 3, Toughness 3, 4 wounds, 3 attacks, Leadership 8, Save 5 up. Much as you'd expect, they get Cult Ambush. They also get Inspirational Deeds, which we'll come to, and Lightning Reflexes. Specialism Kelermorph, because you always get this specialist card. We'll talk more about him when we get to the actual page. So, now we need to figure out why I've put all of these cards down. Okay. Here, as we can tell by the artwork on the back, we have the cards from the original starter box. These 6 cards from the 12 are in the core rulebook. However, if you also bought the starter set, you get these 6 cards. Okay, that's fine. They all have this artwork on the back. If you went out and bought the Genestealer Cults Commander, the Acolyte Icon Ward, they have this artwork on the back. And you get one of these, of course, you get that. You get the 4 Psychic cards. And then you get 5, because I can't count, you get 5 Tactics cards for Commanders. Okay, fine. All with that artwork. If you have now bought Starns Disciples, it gets a bit confusing, but I just wanted to let everybody know what they are actually getting by buying this, and what you need to have bought before to have everything you need for Genestealer Cults, etc. So, you get his unique speciality. Then you get Secret Lair and Blaze of Glory. Now, Blaze of Glory is his own tactic, Kelermorph only. So that makes sense. Secret Lair is the standard tactic that you would get in any of the Kill Team boxes that are released alongside a Kill Zone. It gives you a special thing you can do whenever you use the vent. Okay, that's fine. Now, we then have these 2 commander tactics. Kelermorph, makes sense. These 2 commander tactics came in this. So these aren't new. These 3 commander tactics also came in this, but are also in the core rulebook. So those aren't new. Okay. Again, we have the same thing here. These 6... No, these 6, not that it makes a difference, all have this artwork and all come in the core rulebook. These 6, again, same artwork, all come in this if you've got the starter core set. I will say, though, I think this is this is easily great artwork. Yes, please. These 6 that come in Starns Disciples are new. That's right, in Starns Disciples you get 6 new tactics cards. And we're going to have to go over them, because they're pretty damn good. Okay. Let's go over them right now, in fact. The Cult Innumerable, 3 command points. Exciting. And note that it doesn't say this is a commander-specific thing, so I believe this might be the first 3 command point tactic that is usable outside of a commander's game. Although that might be wrong, because I believe there was one other one, but I can't remember where. So, use this tactic when a model for your kill team, other than a specialist, is taken out of action. You can set up that model again in your deployment zone and more than 9 inches from any enemy models. The model is still treated as a casualty at the end of the battle. However, interestingly, from reading it, it sounds like it's not going to count as a casualty as it is dead. It's not dead. It comes back. So it's not going to hurt your leadership checks or your nerve break tests. 3 command points. That's potentially really useful. Now, you can't use it on a specialist. So it's not going to be one of your really high value models. However, maybe you want to take an aberrant. that doesn't have Zealot or Combat, or you want to take a Genestealer with an Acid Maw that doesn't have Zealot or Combat, or Veteran even. So with the intention of getting it killed early on and bringing it back. Something to think about. We then get Blinding Acid Spit for 1 CP. Use this tactic when a model from your kill team is chosen as the target of an attack in the fight phase. Roll a dice on a 4+, subtract 1 from hit rolls. Till the end of the phase. It's a cool effect, but it's only on a 4+, so you've got a 50-50 of wasting a CP. Obviously, this has its uses. It's only 1 CP. I don't know. Corrosive Fuel. Now, it's 2 command points. However, it's nice. Use this tactic when you choose a model from your kill team to shoot with a hand flamer. Improve the AP characteristics of that weapon to -1 and its damage characteristic to 2 until the end of the phase. Damn. That's very tasty. Now, for those of you unaware, I think you need to be made aware of exactly what a hand flamer is for that rule to mean anything to you. Where is it? Hand flamer. So it's a pistol D3, strength 3, auto hit. Now, the issue with that is that corrosive fuel, you're not managing to increase the strength of it, so you're still wounding. Typically, you're wounding mechs on 5s, which means it's not great, and it's only a D3, not a D6. However, has its use for 2 command points. If that had +1 to strength of the weapon as well, I would probably have said that would make it an auto take that you would have to have a hand flamer in your list. As it is, if you happen to have a hand flamer, keep this close to hand, you never know. But it's not an auto include. Messy Demise for 2 command points. Use this tactic when a model from your kill team takes an enemy model out of action with an attack made with a heavy rock saw. Now, as people know, heavy rock saws are pretty damn cool, so we now know we have to pay attention to this. Roll a dice for each enemy model within 3 inches of the model that made the attack. On a roll of a 5+, the model you are rolling for is shaken. That's interesting. So you basically get to AoE, that's area of effect, potentially multiple other models. If you're engaged in a big melee, this could be an amazing tactic. Now, it's only on a 5+, because obviously shaking a model is, breaking a model is very debilitating. However, potentially this is a game winner right here. Plant the flag, 1 CP. Use this tactic when a model from your kill team equipped with a cult icon takes an enemy model out of action in the fight phase. For any models within 6 inches of that model, do not need to take a nerve test until the end of the battle round. I'm going to be honest with you guys, I have read this card 3 or 4 or 5 times. This is either super niche or they've missed the wording, because you already don't have to take a nerve test until the end of the battle round, unless there is something messing it up like this. Messy Demise would force you to take a nerve test straight away. No, it wouldn't. That's not a nerve test. That's just shaking the model. It's not actually a nerve test. I don't know what this does. Can someone please tell me what Plant the Flag does? Because I don't know. Here you can see it. What does it do? Because you only take nerve tests at the end of the battle round. So what does this change? Finally, Ensnaring Strike 1 CP. Use this tactic when you pick a model in your kill team armed with a Lash Whip and Bone Sword to fight in the fight phase. Till the end of the phase, if that model scores any hits, you can pick 1 melee weapon their target is armed with. The target model may not use that melee weapon in this phase. Again, 1 CP, potentially really, really good. Almost to the point that I would say, equip a Lash Whip and Bone Sword to your Acolyte leader. Or was it the Metamorph leader that can take it? I can't remember. But for 1 CP, you could... I mean, this makes... I'm just saying, if you're up against a melee team, let's say you're up against Grey Knights, with a Demonic Hammer, whatever that's called, you could stop them from hitting you with that. This is very powerful in the right situation. That is all of the different cards that you can get, and it's very confusing. And you kind of need everything. So if you've already picked up the starter set and you picked up the Acolyte Iconwar Commander, you kind of need to pick up this, because these 6 tactics cards seem to me to be really powerful. I think they're really good. Although do note that it clearly stated in the box that you get 4 psychic cards. We did not get 4 psychic cards. I don't know why. And now we are on to the Kelermorph. What can he do? Well, let's take a look at his stats first. Now, obviously, we've already looked at the card, but as we see, it's a 6-inch moving on a 7. We need to know his abilities to know why he's awesome. So, the Cult Ambush is the standard Cult Ambush. After deployment, but before the first battle round roll to D6. For this model on 5-up, that model can move 6 inches. Fine. Lightning Reflexes, 5-up invuln save. I will note that this is the only Genestealer Cult model that gets an invuln save. So that in itself is already very useful, especially when it's already a 5-up normal save. So you're basically just making it invulnerable. Very cool. Inspirational Deeds. If an enemy model is taken out of action by an attack made with this model's Liberator auto stubs, yep, then until the end of the phase, reroll hit rolls of 1 for models from your kill team whilst they are within 6 inches of this model. That's pretty nice. That's actually doing the same as a Cult Icon would do, giving you the +1, the reroll on the miss. Now, also note, this model is armed with 3 Liberator auto stubs and a Cultist Knife. It's not just 1, you make 3 attacks. They are each 12-inch, pistol 1, strength 4, AP -1, damage 2. That's a pretty decent stat line. 12 inches isn't far, but, you know, let's be honest, that's kind of in line with the rest of the Genestealer Cults in general. They're not a long-range team. You can take Fortitude, Leadership, Stealth, and Shooting. I think we can all agree that Shooting is going to be the one to take. Is it? Let me have a think. We're going to need to know the wording on the Shooting Specialist thing. Let's have a read. Reroll hit rolls of 1, we don't care. Pistolier. This model can shoot twice with 1 pistol. Okay. False alarm, guys, but I was going to say, if that was with its pistol, you could have been shooting 6 times. That would have been amazing. Still, I think this is pretty nice. You get to shoot twice, so you're shooting 4 times. Oh, and, yeah. It's going to be good, is all I'm saying. The Shooting Specialist is kind of the obvious thinking man's choice there. If you can't tell, I'm just saying words. I didn't mean thinking man's choice. I don't know what I'm talking about. Okay, Blaze of Glory. Now, this is the tactics card of this tactic that was in the book. But we're going to read it from the card because we're rebels. So it's the Kelermorph only, obviously. Use this tactic when you pick a Kelermorph from your kill team to shoot in the shooting phase. Also note, this is only 1 CP. Instead of shooting normally, you can make a single attack with one of this model's ranged weapons against each enemy model within 8 inches that is an eligible target. Blimey. So you give up 3 shots to potentially wreck face. Do also note, though, that if you're engaged in close combat, the only eligible target will be the one that you are actually having combat with. You can only shoot the closest enemy model in close combat. So you couldn't just charge straight in and then hope you survive a turn and then destroy the entire enemy team. You'd only be able to shoot the one model. Something to keep in mind. However, this is very cool, very thematic, obviously, but also has the potential to wreck face. While we're still talking about the Kelermorph, let's see what his custom speciality could be. So, hybrid agility, add 1 to this model's move characteristic. Yeah, fine. Oh, points. I didn't go over points. 25, 30, 45, 65. Level 2, preternatural skill. Shooting attacks made by this model do not suffer the penalty of hit rolls for the target being obscured. That's pretty nice. No being obscured. However, they are still pistols, so you're almost always going to be shooting over half. Debatable. Level 3, 45 points, swift reflexes. This model successfully hits on results of 4+ instead of 6 when making Overwatch attacks. That's very nice, I've got to say. So going back to his Blaze of Glory tactic, you could theoretically run straight into the enemy, but stay 1 inch away, Blaze of Glory in the same turn, and if they then charge you, which they will, every model that charges you, you are getting to make 3 attacks with your Liberator also stubs, hitting on 4s. That's not bad at all, actually. And then you get level 4, 65 points. Trick Shooter. Once per battle round, when you pick this model to shoot, you can choose a friendly model within 6 inches of this model. You can resolve one of the Kelermorph attacks, including choosing a target and measuring range, as if the attack was made by the other model you chose by using the Kelermorph's weapon and characteristics. Oh, what? I'm going to have to read that again. And not speed read it. I'm going to have to actually read this. Once per battle round, when you pick this model to shoot, you can choose a friendly model within 6 inches. Okay. You can resolve one of the Kelermorph's attacks, as if the attack was made... Okay, that's fine. So that's what I thought it said, but I just wanted to make sure. So basically, you can shoot round corners using Trick Shooter. It basically gives you another line of sight, which is pretty cool. It's only for one of the attacks. I'd probably go up to level 3 with him. I think level 3 is good. And then just give him Tactical Planner on top and call it a day. I'm not sure. I'd have to sit down and figure it out, whether I prefer this or a shooter specialist. But they're both interesting. They're both good. Finally, I will read this. It's for this vent. So it's on the Sector Fronteris only. And it is. Use this tactic at the start of the movement phase of battle round 1, 2, or 3. Pick a model from your kill team within 3 inches of a Riser Pattern Ruin hatchway. Yep. And remove that model from the battlefield. At the end of the subsequent movement phase, set up that model within 3 inches of any Riser Pattern Ruin hatchway, and more than 9 inches from any enemy models. If you cannot set up that model in this way, it remains in hiding. Follow these rules again at the end of the next movement phase. If this model has not been set up before... If this model has not been set up again before the end of the mission, it is taken out of action. Useless? Because okay, so you get one of these in Starn's Disciples. We've seen that, but you only get one. I did not see one of them in Sector Fronteris. Oh, I'm going to have to check, aren't I? Okay, here's the Sector Fronteris box. Is there a hatch? There is no hatch. There is no hatch. Okay, and that is Starn's Disciples unboxed. Awesome. Good job, us. Well done if you made it to the end. I know it got a little bit bogged down in the weeds there, but we did it. Congratulations, us. Anyway, what did you think of Starn's Disciples? What do you think of the new Kelermorph? Are you a Genestealer Cults player? Do you know any Genestealer Cults players? Because I don't. Anyway, this has been Glass Half Dead. Hope you've had a great day. Hope you continue to have a great day. Bye.